We stopped the schedule to see if there's any good stuff, and today there is good stuff. Luckily, everyone takes the time to explain things.
The resident let me attempt it.
Good morning! It is another day on dental school rotations. I polled you guys here and on Instagram, and by far the most prominent vote on Instagram was to see the oral surgery rotation. So that's what we're doing today. It is actually our second day. It was the week of Labor Day. We obviously didn't have clinic on Monday, and then the clinic was also closed on Tuesday. So yesterday was our first full day. I will insert a few clips of what that looked like. It was pretty fun, very hectic because things move fast in oral surgery, but that's to be expected. And today, hopefully we have a bit of a stronger footing because it is our second day, so we kind of know what we're doing. Also, if you're new here, my name is Medina and I share my life in dental school as well as lifestyle and admissions content. So if you think you enjoy that, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I'm about to head into the train and I'll see you guys in school. So first thing we do in the morning is we stock the schedule. I'm not going to show you guys because there's names and stuff, but we stock the schedule to see if there's any good stuff, and today there is good stuff because we have IV sedation cases, which are really cool to see. We've got some implants, extractions, all the good stuff. So we just got a little morning spiel about anesthesia from Dr. Brody and we're ready to jump in. Whew. Just finished assisting an implant case. That was super interesting. Oh, my mask just broke. It was interesting because it was a second molar implant, and when I was working as an assistant during my gap year, I got to see a lot of implant placements, but I actually didn't know some of the things that I learned today, including the fact that second molar implants are apparently difficult because of the bone levels and how soft the bone is in the posterior, because it's kind of right at the edge of the maxilla. It looked like a really challenging case, but I'm glad that I was able to see it. Honestly, it's so crazy to me how different the experience is when you're assisting in school versus when you're assisting just outside in private practice. Why is it? Oh, that's why. I keep typing in my password wrong, and it's because caps lock was on. But you learn so much more, even just assisting in procedures here, because luckily everyone takes the time to explain things. But there's so many interesting cases going on today. Like while I was in the implant room, I saw like there was sedation cases, my classmates were doing extractions. Hopefully I get to do one myself today, fingers crossed. Now I have to write my note really quickly and then see whoever else is waiting, because it feels like the day just started, but it's already 11:30, which is crazy because that's usually lunchtime, but we still have, I think, 5 patients waiting, so we're probably going to either work through lunch or just have people take turns and then see how that goes. Writing notes for oral surgery has been really tough because you have to document a lot more than in just operative procedures. You have to go through a lot of things. There's usually consent forms that need to be signed, so you have to like sit there and discuss those with the patient. But it was a cool case to see. I just gotta write my note. Oh my god, what a crazy day. It is already 1:15, oh, 1:10 actually, because my watch is always 5 minutes fast because I'm always late, but it is already 1:10 and I'm just now going to lunch, even though lunch ends at 1 o'clock. So I'm gonna grab something really quick because life does not stop on oral surgery. Probably just gonna grab like a salad or something. And maybe a little coffee because I didn't have coffee this morning and your girl is in need of some caffeination to survive the rest of these oral surgery cases. My patient right before lunch was the sweetest lady ever. It is so bright. There we go. My patient before lunch was the sweetest lady ever. She needed an extraction for a tooth. She has a lot of medical conditions, a lot of surgical history, so it took a little longer than anticipated. That's why we had her right before lunch, because we thought it was just gonna be a quick consult. She also had an interesting inflammation of her submandibular gland that we had to prescribe her antibiotics for, so that was very interesting because it wasn't sick, so it wasn't her lymph nodes, but it looked like her submandibular glands, so very interesting case. Just so hectic to try to get everything done at once, you know, like getting a prescription sent, because I'm in charge of the visit. I have to make sure that the prescription gets sent and it's sent to the right pharmacy, and all that stuff is just incredibly hard to keep track of. So, you know, that's just life on rotations in dental school. Finally caved and decided to try the sushi bar. Hopefully it's good. I just scarfed down my hospital cafeteria sushi. It wasn't the best, it did the trick. I am am so exhausted, and I hate complaining because I really do feel grateful and thankful for opportunities to learn, but standing on your feet all day with like there's literally no chairs in the oral surgery clinic, running around and being so busy is definitely tough. But the fact that our clinic is so busy just means that, you know, there's a real need for care, and it's good that we're able to provide it, but it's also much more hectic than some of the other rotations have been. Even emergency was at least, you know, enough operatories for all of us to sit and like see our own patients, but oral surgery is quite a bit more hectic than that. But we make do, we learn, that's the whole point. So Saya, what is the most interesting thing you did today?
So there were 2 surgical extractions, and they actually, the resident let me attempt it. Okay. Where am I supposed to look? Oh.
You can look at yourself in the viewfinder.
So he let me attempt it, but then they ended up being too difficult, so they cut a flap and they had to like take a handpiece and drill the tooth out.
Cool. You guys, I am absolutely wiped. Also, my camera died, and I don't know if you guys caught the last part of what Saya was saying, but most of my group mates got to do some really cool procedures today. A couple of people got to do like solo extractions, which was really great. I mostly took care of consults and assisted a couple of procedures. After that morning implant, it was just kind of go, 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 as you guys saw. And oh my gosh, I'm finally resting my feet because it is no joke standing around all day. I don't know how most people do it. I was talking to our attending doctor today, Dr. Brody, and he was like, you know, like I find that if you keep going and if you keep moving, it's not as bad. And I'm like, I don't know how you can do this for this many years, but I am already exhausted. Like one of my classmates, he was like pumped, he was invigorated, he was like, yeah, I'm ready to go. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Like you want to go into oral surgery. Like that lifestyle works for some people, but like for me, standing on my feet all day is literally one of those things where it's like, I respect people that work in ORs and have like 4-hour surgeries, 10-hour surgeries, spend all day on their feet, but for me, I like the fact that in operative dentistry we sit when we work, especially because I have flat feet. My feet tend to hurt more, so I'm just completely wiped out. It was quite an eventful day, so I'm just gonna let my claw clip out. Oh, that feels nice. Does anybody else feel that relief of letting your hair down at the end of a long day? It's so nice. Anyway, tomorrow we have another half day because we have class in the morning, and for the 3rd year we literally only have classes 2 days a week, so Tuesday afternoons and then Friday mornings. So in the morning we're gonna have a couple of lectures, and then in the afternoon we're gonna be finishing oral surgery clinic. That will be it until we're back in the rotation in, I believe, October or November. I learned a ton, like I was saying earlier, and my battery's dying again because I didn't give it a lot of time to charge, but that was my day on oral surgery. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Obviously I couldn't show you guys really much of anything in terms of the procedures, but hopefully me talking through what we did was helpful. If you want to see more rotations, drop them in the comments. If there was one that you want to see sooner, if you want to see peds, if you want to see ortho, endo, whatever it is, drop it in the comments. Thanks for sticking through to the end, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.